Hey, runners, happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. It is Friday, September 23rd. I'm coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. It is a comfortable, well, I shouldn't say comfortable, a cooler 77 degrees, but it's humid. It is 73% humidity and almost 70 degrees dew point. I believe it's 67. So it's still muggy here as we near the end of September. We've gotten a little bit of rain here this week. We're in our monsoon season still for at least another week, and then officially the season ends at the end of September. Hopefully it cools off. It's been in the mid 90s, but humid, and then this weekend we're supposed to get up to maybe 104, but we should be about 100 or even 99 degrees for an average. So hopefully you guys are enjoying some nice cool fall weather wherever you're at, or maybe you're on the other side of the hemisphere, and maybe you guys are approaching your I guess summer. But anyways, I'm going to give you a little recap of what's going on. There's been some changes. We're kind of going through a little bit of a change here, and I'll explain a little bit. But I've been running not very many miles this week. On Monday, just kind of take you through my calendar. For those of you who are not familiar with this channel, I've been started training for, originally was going to be the Philadelphia Half Marathon in mid-November, but we decided against that. My wife is going through a little bit of an injury herself, and so we thought we'll stay closer to home here, and I'll do a local race, the Gilbert Half Marathon, which is the same time as Philadelphia. So, logistically, works out perfectly. On the calendar, I don't have to change my training program. I started training for it August 29th. I like a 12-week training program. So, did that. And I was going to do a race last weekend, the 18th of September down in Tucson. It's a 10K. But I've kind of gone through a little bit of a, I don't know, you can call it an injury, I guess. I'm going to find out here soon. So let me just go ahead and say that for about a couple weeks, I've been experiencing a little bit of discomfort. It started out in the my left abdomen, lower ab. Kind of felt like I don't know if like a gas bubble or something like that. Like after I was eating a meal, I would feel a little bit of bloating, just a little bit of discomfort, if you will. Didn't think much of it, and then a couple of my runs were affected, especially on the longer runs. On Saturdays, I like to do a little bit of longer run. I mean, it could be 7, 8, 9, 10 miles. And I remember that first weekend, it was really sore. When I say sore, down in my groin area, I won't go into detail, but so the first thing I thought of was, well, possibly maybe a hernia. Years ago, we're talking like 13, 14 years ago. Supposedly I had a hernia, which doesn't just go away. Very mild, didn't need anything done, and I ran a marathon. Felt fine. Well, it kind of resurfaced a little bit last year, but we didn't find anything out as far as a hernia being present. Didn't get anything done on ultrasound or imaging. Felt fine. Just a couple weeks ago, I started feeling a little bit more of a pronounced discomfort or pain in that area, the lower abdomen, groin area. So today, Friday, I am scheduled for an ultrasound, a couple of ultrasounds, in fact, here this morning. And so we should get some answers as to if this is a hernia or if it's something else that's causing some discomfort. It's not like it's just excruciating, but I can see it getting worse, especially like last Saturday I ran and I only did 7 miles, but for 4 miles I was running like an 8:25 pace, and I could feel a little bit of, well, for us guys, a little bit of tugging down there, a little discomfort. So it didn't feel right. And then throughout the day, it kind of lingered and bothered me. And then the next day, on Sunday, it, I felt almost like pain free. Um, Instead of doing the race in Tucson, I decided to just stay here close to home, get a run in, but not race it, and see how I felt. So it was a good move on my behalf. Um, so yeah, right now, this week I've only run 2 miles on Monday. I did a speed workout on Tuesday to kind of see how I felt. I did three. It was kind of odd, but I did 3x400. Usually I like even numbers, and I did that at like 154. So I think that was about a 7:30 pace, almost 7:30. For 400 meters. Didn't feel too bad, but I could feel a little discomfort there. And then I ran on the treadmill and did 3.25 miles the following day. Felt a little bit something that afternoon. And then I didn't run yesterday. I'm not running today. And then tomorrow, Saturday, I might try a few miles just to kind of see how it feels. But yeah, it's kind of touch and go right now. I'm kind of bracing for this ultrasound to come back, indicating that I might have a hernia. And so if that's the case, we'll have to see what the severity of the hernia is. If it's something that it's not going to get better, let's face it. So I'll have to have that discussion with the doctor. My thought is, if it is a hernia, that I get the surgery done fairly quickly so that I can recover and still get back on my feet here later in the fall, and then get back to running. I don't know what the timeline looks like for recovery with the hernia. I've looked online. It could be anywhere from, well, at least a recovery from the hernia 1 to 3 weeks. But as far as running is concerned, how strenuous, I've seen up to several months. So hopefully not that long, but at this point there's just speculation. My gut's telling me it's a hernia, but who knows what it is. Maybe it's not something, maybe it's something less. So anyways, that's what's going on. So I'm not completely sidelined. And for those of you, I don't know how many of you have experienced a hernia in the past, but it's something I have known some people who've had it before, and if you wait too long and there's a big bulge, down below, you got to get that taken care of, or you could possibly have what they call strangulation, where the intestines cut off the blood supply, and it's an emergency. You need surgery right away. So that's always a little alarming to me. I don't want to put myself at risk. I want to stay active though, so taking precautions and such. But when I am running, I feel decent, and I'm thinking of upcoming races that I've registered for. I've registered for a race in October, at the end of October. It's a 5K, and that was going to be a training, kind of a gauge. I like to, 4 weeks out before my big race, I like to do a training race, or a race, I should say, to gauge my training. And it was a 5K that I was scheduled for. And then the A race, November 19th, would be my half marathon. as of now, it's a go, but I'm also being realistic and may have to pivot and make some changes. But I mean, aside from that, I'm upbeat. I am positive about what the future holds, and definitely not something that is going to hold me back for the long term. Um, I'm a positive person, and I definitely know that yes, this may be a little bump in the road, a little roadblock, but it's going to be temporary. And as runners or athletes, we all go through injuries and setbacks, and it's not always going to be perfect, nor do we expect it to be. And we have to face it head on and really own it and do the best we can and put ourselves in position to overcome that. And it makes us stronger and better as individuals and athletes. So I sorry it's not exciting news, but I will definitely update you all once I find out what is going on and what the next steps are. But I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any races this weekend? It's the fall season. We haven't cooled down quite yet, but maybe you guys are experiencing some cooler weather and really good training and racing temperatures out there. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a shout, and thanks again for watching the video. And have a great and safe weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye.